Barrett, and I co-run a small social enterprise called Senija Eco Hub. And at Senija, we aim to help people to live more sustainably, to live low waste. So we do that through practical workshops like today. So we teach upcycling, but we also teach people how to practically reduce their waste as like food waste, or make their own cleaning products, their own beauty products. So really practical knowledge. We feel like we're a bit the grandmas of people, the grandmas that people might not have, and teaching those old skills and crafts that are kind of forgotten, that really help us live as more sustainable, but also a kind of a better life. We feel like it's really lovely to take time to craft and to make things rather than just buying. So of course there is a great impact on the environment, but also we feel that there's a great impact on our well-being. And I'm sure that resonates to you, being at home and having a bit more time, and being on your own, having time to process, to think about what you do. I think that's just great that we can all share those knowledge. So yes, I'm going to show you what you're probably waiting for. So this is a t-shirt bag. This one was made with my son's old t-shirts that he was not happy with that. He just told me that, how did you dare? It was still okay, it fitted me. It didn't fit him anymore and he had stains all over. But anyway, so I really like this bag. It's a really great size. It's probably like the perfect, your plastic bag, your blue plastic bag kind of size. So I use this a lot to go shopping. And what I do, I have a few of them. So I really, I just put them all in one bag, and I'm taking them out to go shopping. So I don't run out of bags, and I don't need to buy plastic bags or to get plastic bags. So they're great. And this one is the one I used for the photos. So this one is, it's made from my daughter's dress when she was about 2. So it's a bit smaller, but it's also quite cute. And today I'm going to attempt to make a bag from my husband's big t-shirts. So I would like to have like a big, quite cool big t-shirt bag to put a little bit more shopping in it. Why is it great to make a bag out of t-shirt? I mean, that's a good question. The fact that you are using something that you're done with. So, I mean, a t-shirt that have holes in it or stains or that you don't love anymore. Maybe better if it's beyond repair. It's not something you can give to the charity shop. But I mean, for example, this one, it's got pretty much nothing wrong with it, but it's just like really old and saggy, and it's got like those little bubbles. So, so it's not something that we want to wear. It's definitely not something I will want to give to someone else or to the charity shop. So this is perfect. You're saving something to go to the bin or to be recycled. So what's happened to our unwanted textiles? I've got a few facts for you that I'm gonna read. So we take for granted in this country to give to charity shop, and that's amazing. I think we do it really well here in the UK. But having said that, I just got some facts from a website called Wrap. I'm going to put it in the message there in a bit, because it's really quite a good website for textiles and waste in general. So in the UK, we sent around 350,000 tons of textiles waste to landfill. That means that it's dead. It's not going to be recycled, upcycled, nothing's going to happen to it. It's going to be burned in the incinerations, or it's going to be going to landfill where it will be buried. So these textiles is about 140 million pounds worth. So in terms of economy, it's a big deal. It's something that we could have either resold on the second-hand markets, or something that we could have used to make, we usually shred the bits of textile that can't be used otherwise, and that become insulations, for example, or that become kind of stuffings for cars and things like that. So that's a lot of money and a lot of resources that are completely wasted. That's why it's really important to think about what happened to something that we buy, and to consider what's going to happen once it's away from our home and when it's gone in the lorry. What's actually happening to this waste. And in terms of textiles, there's quite a lot of things that we can do. So I will tell you a bit more about what we can do about our textile waste once we're doing the tutorial, because we will have time to do that. But just one quick word about why it's so great to do this project with me today. So you're going to make something that is useful and that you might need, a bag. So you will need it to reduce your plastic, the use of plastic bags that you probably know is not good at all for the planet. So bringing your bags to the shop, it's a great thing to do. But often, you know, you end up not having enough bags at home, and you end up still getting like the odd plastic bags from the shop, because you need quite a lot. So having the opportunity to make some at home from something that you have, it's perfect. So that's what's great. And using something that you already have, it's really good, because you using something that's already created, so that there's no need for more raw materials, and you help keep shopping sustainable this way. You reduce your demand on natural resources, and you keep clothing waste out of landfill. So that's a win-win for everything. So you're really doing the 3 hours, or at least 2 hours of the lowest living kind of rules, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So you're definitely reducing the need of like buying more materials to make, and you reusing something that you already have. And then after the end of the life of this bag, hopefully you will be able to recycle it in a textile bank or something like that. So I think let's get started. So what I would like you to do is to take your t-shirts. So just one last thing for the people that join us. You need an old t-shirt. Pair of scissors. Fabric scissors are obviously better. But if you don't have, that's fine. I'm sure you'll be able to cut through the t-shirt. It's quite thin. And maybe a textile or just a marker. So I've got a chalk because my t-shirt is quite dark. But if you've got a lighter t-shirt, you could use just a felt pen. And you might need a book of rulers for tracing straight line, if that's what you want to do. That's what I will do today. But you can also, go around the edges, so you don't need necessarily a ruler. Okay, so let's get started. What you need to do first is to lay your fabric, your t-shirt, sorry, in front of you. I'm sorry if you can't see everything. Let's see. Here we go. So at least you'll be able to see one side, which is the main thing. And you're going to want to first remove the arm on both sides. And to do this, so I don't know if you can see because my t-shirt is quite dark, but I'm going to use the chalk to mark where we want the cut. So you want to cut in the inside of the seam of your sleeve seam. So when I'm in the inside, closer to the neck. And you can either follow this line directly with your scissors and cut around this way. And that's what I've done. That's what I've done here in this one. Or, and that's what I'm going to do today, you can use a ruler or a book to kind of trace a straight line. So you just need to bear in mind that you don't want to go too close from the neckline, because we will cut that neckline as well. And you do it on both sides. So what you can do is mark one side and then fold your t-shirts and cut, or you can do what I'm going to do here and do the two sides separately. It kind of depends how good your scissors are and how confident you are. I prefer do both sides independently. So I see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the boot off, and you can see that line, the blue line. So now I'm going to just grab my scissors and cut. Okay, and you'll see, so now you've got an opening here. That's good. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. You see the other side here. Here we go. I'm gonna try to do a good job doing the same size. We go, so I'm marking again the other side. So it's slightly easier if you are following the line of your t-shirt, because you just follow the line. And it works well as well. I suggest that if you've got a small t-shirt, you just follow the line, because you don't want an opening, you don't want that opening to be too big. Okay, so I've cut both sides. I don't know if you can see, sorry, I'm gonna still show you on one side only. But I've cut both sides and they are pretty much the same. That's not too bad. So if you see that they're very different, you can fold your t-shirts and have a look. And if they're really too different, we can just cut the difference. So they are similar. Okay, so this is the first step. The second step is the neckline. So the neckline, you're going to also want to cut it. Then again, there is different ways that kind of depend also of the shape of your actual neckline right now. So mine is a little bit like a V. Yours could be round. So you can just cut around the neckline, or you can do a V. So again, I think the V works better for like a larger t-shirt. If it's a smaller t-shirt, you really want to cut like a small opening as possible. The main thing being cutting the back. So basically opening the neckline, having the same cut from the front to the back. So if you've got a small t-shirt, just cut on the inside of the seam again. So I'm going to show you with my chalk. So when I say the inside, you just want to cut on the fabric, on the textile materials, not on the kind of the edge. You want to open this. And you want to cut the front and the back together. So you want to keep the back and the front together, because that's what you want to cut out. And in my case, because my t-shirt is a bit big and I want to try to style it a little bit more modern, I'm gonna just draw a straight line, a bit like what I did with the sleeves. And I'm gonna create a V. That again, if you want to have like a perfect symmetrical shape, you can fold your t-shirts and cut all together. But again, for this, you need to have like really strong pair of scissors, really sharp scissors, which might not be your case. So it might be easier just to do what I'm doing and do it just like this together. So can you see? So I've got my V. It's not the straightest, most symmetrical V, but that should be okay. So I'm going to start cutting now. So just make sure that you've got enough here, because this is going to be your handle. So You don't want it to be too thin. So this is a little bit thin on this one, but it's okay because it's a small bag. But the bigger the bag, you want this to be a bit fat and a bit wide. So it's not going to rip or anything. So yeah, just make sure that this is not getting too thin. And then you can just get started cutting. I try to make sure that the back is not moving, that everything stay quite, you know, aligned. Okay, so here we go. So I've got quite a nice V shape. So now you can see what we're doing. You've got the handles here and the big opening in the middle. So that's great. So we're going to deal with the bottom of the bag now. Okay, I hope you can see okay. Let me know if it's not clear, because I will be happy to try to show you all the angles and things. So now let's focus on the bottom of the bag. So we've got the bottom of the bag with the theme at the bottom. So you want the two themes to be against each other. So the front and the back theme to be facing and neatly together. So you might want to shake your t-shirts and to just to align it a little bit better. Okay, so that's what I've done here. So that's the top, and here we go. I'm showing you the bottom here. Now, I'm going to show you how the bag is constructed now. So in the examples that I showed you, they're all been inside. So we are going to cut some little fringes and we're going to tie them together. And that's how the bag is made. So there's no sewing, it's just knotting the fringe that we're going to cut right now. The trick is that you either want to have the fringes on the inside, like here, so you can't see them, or you can use them as decorations to make like kind of like tassel-y dangling fringe at the bottom. That's what I'm going to do on mine today. But before, I always made them in the inside. So this is important to know now, because you're going to want to turn your t-shirts inside out if you want your little fringe to be hidden. So if you want like this one to see nothing and to have like like this one to have like a neat bottom, your back to be just all nice and neat at the bottom, you want to turn your t-shirts inside out. So you're working on with the outside of your t-shirt facing you. So this is what you're doing. I'm going to leave it as it is because I want my fringes to be seen, to be visible today. So do that. And once you've turned your t-shirt the way you want it and place it neatly on the table, you're going to take your scissors and we're going to start making the fringe all along the bottom of your t-shirts. So I'm going to show you with the chalk. We're going to start by one side and you're going to trace. So basically what you want for the fringes to be all the same size. You're going to want to trace a line where you're going to stop the cutting. So we're going to do the cutting vertically like this. So you're going to trace an horizontal line parallel to the bottom seam of your t-shirt. The size of this, the size of the fringe will depend on the size of your t-shirt, obviously, but for a medium-sized t-shirt, or kind of like the smaller size fringe that you can have are about, I would say 10 centimeters. So, or let's say a finger, like a big finger size. So this is kind of like the minimum you want, because after that it will be really hard to knot. Because my t-shirt is quite big and I want the fringe to be visible, I'm going to make them a little bit longer. So mine is probably about 12 centimeters roughly. So I'm going to mark that line with my chalk. So you can use your pencil or whatever you have to mark. Again, if you don't have a book, or you got a good eye, you could mark that. You could mark that just with the chalk, and just, it doesn't have to be super precise, but obviously it's easier. It's easier to have a straight line to work with. Here you go. So you can see my line here, and now I'm going to use this line to cut. I'm going to sit. I'm going to start on one side here. I'm going to just cut vertically my fabric. And then, so you've got one first thing. Don't worry too much about it. We might have to recut it. So maybe make the first one a bit larger. It doesn't quite matter. And so you leave it on the side, and then you carry on. And you try to be regular, so they all kind of are the same. So I'm making mine the size of my finger. So about 1 centimeter or so, a bit more than 1 centimeter. And so you make sure that the front and your back of your t-shirt are together. So what I'm doing, I'm holding the t-shirt that I'm cutting in between my fingers, my thumb and my fingers, so it's not moving. And then I do that with the next. So try to be regular and to do the same size, and you cut all the way till you reach that line here. So let's go, let's do that. That's gonna take a few minutes. Okay, so while we're doing this, I'm going to try to talk to you about how you can reduce your textile waste, what you can do at home to reduce your waste, your clothing waste, I suppose, your textile waste. So the first thing that I would say is to look after your clothes properly. I mean, they all seem quite normal, like why would you not want to look after your clothes? But actually most of us are not too sure sometimes how to wash our clothes. We don't know which materials need to be washed, how which materials need to be washed. So it's really quite important to look at the labels or look online for ways to wash different type of fabric, because a lot of our clothes get damaged through washing. Another good tip is actually to wash less. We often overwash our clothes. I mean, the clothes that we've been wearing on a day, like at home, are probably not very dirty, and I'm sure you'll be able to wear them again without washing them. But I tend to put them in the wash regardless, and that's not great, because obviously the clothes get damaged when they get washed slightly, they get worn out. So it's important to try not to wash them as much. So try that. One of my tips for not washing as much is I air my clothes. So I've got like a few coat hangers where I put the clothes that I've been wearing already, and I just hang them, and the air kind of like, make them nice. They don't smell, and they don't have creases anymore because they're hung. So that's a good tip. Another one is to use bicarbonate of soda. So you can just put a little bit of bicarbonate of soda on the clothes in places where they might smell a little bit. And that's definitely taking the smell out. So that's really a great tip. So if you if there's clothes that you really want to wear again, but they might not be super fresh, you can freshen them up by putting a little bit of bicarbonate of soda for a few hours, and then shake the bicarbonate of soda off the clothes, and they will be like clean again. So that's great. Another thing is to use colder and shorter cycle with your washing machine. So definitely try to wash most of your clothes that are not too dirty on a 30 degrees wash, and try to have a look at the shorter cycle on your washing machine, because that will also extend the life of your clothes. And another thing that's really important is to learn to look after your clothes by mending them. So you might want to learn to mend, or if you really can't, I don't have the time or don't have the skills, take it to someone that can mend, because mending your clothes, I mean, a lot of people just put clothes in the bin because there is a small hole or there is like a little stain, that's not, and there's a lot of things that are not too bad that could be definitely worn again if they were mended. So it's really important to find a way to mend the clothes that we have, if it's possible. Okay, so I'm going to cut the last one now. So again, I'm like kind of splitting this one in half. And what you want to do with the end one, which is basically where the t-shirt has been folded in two, you want to split that in two. So in my case, they're a little bit smaller because I didn't leave enough. They'll be fine. Okay, so I've split this one in two, and I'm going to go on the other side where I started, and I'm going to split the first one in two as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically the first and the last one were on the edge where the t-shirt was folded on the side. So I've divided that first one in two. So I've got like one at the front and one at the bottom to start knotting. Okay, so now we're going to start the knotting of the t-shirt. Okay, so just put the fringes all nice and aligned in front of you. You want to make sure that front and back are kind of like nice on top of each other as much as possible, because what we're going to do now, we're going to start knotting the front layer of the t-shirt with the back layer. So we're going to take the first, put it a bit closer so you can see better. So you're going to take the first two, so your side ones, and you're going to start knotting, just a simple knot. That's it, and you're going to put it on the side. Then you're going to take the second one, so top layer with the top of your t-shirt with the back of the t-shirt, and you're going to tie a knot. Again, this is the thing that takes the longest. And here, actually, if you've got long fringe, you can do a double knot. If your t-shirt is a bit thick, maybe you can do just one knot, because we will re-knot anyway. So it depends of the thickness of your t-shirt and how slippery the material is, I suppose. If the material is a little bit silky, you might want to do double knot, because otherwise it might not hold, the knot might not hold together. So mine is a little bit thin, so I'm just doing a double knot. Okay, and you carry on doing this. So take the top layer and the bottom layer and knot them together. Does that make sense to everyone? Let me have a look if I've got any question. Okay. Okay, so I hope, Nicola, let me know if you're okay with what we're doing now. So once you cut your fringe, or your fringe, you want to knot the top one with the bottom one and do that all the way along. So if you're all happy with doing that, that's great. Otherwise, please let me know. That is quite a relaxing thing to do. I agree with you, Veronica. It's really nice. It's really nice not to having to sew something and still making it hold together. I really like the idea of that. And it's really nice to do with children. I suppose the cutting part of the project is a little bit difficult, might be a bit too precise for the children, but the knotting is perfect as a project. So I think that can definitely be a really nice family project. Okay, so while we are doing the knotting, I'm going to go through my list of things that you can do to reduce your textile waste. So we talked about looking after our clothes, washing properly, mending. The other things that you can definitely do is to aim to shop secondhand. So that could be by visiting local charity shops, and we can move around freely again. Looking on secondhand websites like Facebook or Gumtree, eBay. So that's a really good way to get clothes and secondhand clothes. And really nice thing as well is to swap. So I've been doing this for years with my mother, that we've got pretty similar sizes, and and she buy clothes, I buy clothes, so we just see each other on holiday and just bring clothes that we think might fit each other, and we swap our clothes like that. So I always end up with like new clothes when I go home to see my mum. And I started doing it with my friends, and I find it so nice. So I've just done it recently, and what I'm wearing, I will show you later, it's all clothes that my neighbor has given me, that she didn't like anymore, that she's overworn, or that didn't fit her. I find it amazing because, someone's trash becomes someone else's treasure, and it's so true for clothes. So swapping clothes is great, and you can attend clothes swap parties. So not now, obviously, but when things come back to normal, I really advise you to go. We've really enjoyed going and organizing them with Sunny Jar. And actually, we were due to organize a big one in June at Poplar Union, but obviously that got all cancelled. But hopefully, when things go back to normal, we can definitely reorganize one of them. So basically, you go, you bring clothes with you, and you get tokens for the clothes that you're bringing, and then you can then swap for the value of the clothes you brought, and choose from the clothes that other people have brought. And I don't know if you can tell me if you've been to one of them, but they're brilliant, really brilliant. Yeah, Nicolas, that's a really good point. You can definitely buy and sell through platform like eBay, and actually make a bit of money from your clothes. That's a really good point. So you can save money, definitely, but you can actually make a little bit of money, which is even better. Okay, so I'm almost at the end. Sorry, you might be quicker than me. I'm sorry if you have to wait for me. So I'm almost at the end. I've got about 3 more. And then, so if you're at the end, you're going to do the same as we did at the start. You're going to use the last one, front and back. So you should be having even numbers. I've lost my. Okay. All right, and once you have done them all, we're going to do another row of knotting. This time you're going to take let me try to show you on that side. So you want to knot them kind of diagonally. So it's not front and back anymore, but it's kind of like a cross. So you're going, if you're counting them, you're going to take 1 and 3 and knot them together. Take 2 and 4 and knot them together. This time, try to do a double knot because this is the final knot that you're going to do. So 1 and 3 together, and then 2 and 4 together, and so on. So what that does is that it closes the gap, so there's actually no gaps in your knotting when you see it from the inside. So, you know, even if you're carrying small items in your bag, nothing's going to fall through. So does that make sense? So go, yeah, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, and then every 2 basically together. And that's kind of like in a diagonal. So you just miss 1. So 5 and 7, and then you do 4 and 6. So they're all knotted, but they are knotting kind of in a cross way. So you might want to concentrate a bit doing this, but it's okay. Even if you make a mistake, I mean, you see the main thing for the knotting is that it doesn't have any gap, and that everything is knotted. So that's the aim. Okay. Okay. So keep doing this. So in terms of learning to mend your clothes, we at Senija teach. So we run workshop teaching people how to mend. Obviously, it's really hard. I find it really hard to teach mending online. Although I've done it at the beginning of the lockdown, it's really difficult for people to really see what we're doing. But I'll say that there is really good resources on YouTube that you can actually, you know, pause and take your time doing. There is so much out there to teach you how to do any kind of mending. I would really recommend you to have a look and maybe have a go yourself, because it's really nice to be able to save clothes that we like from going to waste. So often it's only a really small problem, you know, a really small hole or a seam that's undone, and you'll be so surprised how easy it is to be able to mend. I'm not saying that everything is easy. I mean, obviously, I don't really like or want to change zips or do things like that, but mending a small hole in a pair of leggings, for example, it's really easy and save the things going to waste. So that's lovely. Okay, sorry, I'm just catching up with your questions. Okay, where do you start with the second knot? So second knot, so you're knotting the first fringe, let's say, with the third. So you're basically knotting 1 and 3 together, kind of knotting them in like diagonal way. So you're closing the hole that was left from knotting the first row. I hope that makes sense. And if you've been double knitting and you don't have enough room, I suppose that could be a problem. Then it's still fine. I mean, if you don't have enough fringes to knot in this cross way, that will still work. I mean, your bag will have small holes at the bottom, but you can still definitely put like fruits and veg. You know, the holes are no bigger than you know, I don't know, than 1 centimeter diameter. So you'll be fine. I hope that answers your question. And if you don't have enough room to double knot it, I suppose that's fine as well. This one, the green one was never double knotted because I didn't have enough room, and I've been washing it and using it a lot, and it hasn't gotten knotted at all. And I suppose if it was getting knotted like here, I could, you know, just make sure that it's knotted properly if I see that it's a problem. So don't worry too much about it. If you were doing this with like a summer dress, I was imagining that it could be a possibility. You could then have like really long fringe, and you'll be able to do maybe some plaiting or some kind of like cool design. Oh, that's taking the project a bit further. Just thinking about that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done. So you can go back as well on your track. If you're not sure that you've done it properly, what you do, you just kind of look at the top of your knotting and see if there is a gap. If you see a gap, just take the nearest fringe and kind of like tie a knot, and that will close that gap. And you can carry on doing this until you can't see any gap. And again, I mean, if the gaps are small, you know that is fine. Your t-shirt will, your bag will still be strong enough. So let me know if you have any other questions in terms of the knotting. I hope that it's clear enough and you managed to do that. To be honest, I've completely lost where I was knotting, but it doesn't look like too gappy, so I'm quite happy. So you can carry on knotting. Please let me know if it's all clear and if you're happy. I suppose after that, we're done. I'm just recutting a little bit of the opening because it wasn't quite perfect. And I'm rubbing the trace of the chalk. Okay, so I'm going to get the camera facing me again. Hi, and I'm going to show you my bag, which is quite cool, a bit funky. And I'm going to try to model it for you. So there is a lot of type of design I suppose you could do, and you can be quite creative. That's why I love the idea of that being a kids project or a teenager's project, because you could get some fabric markers, use a white t-shirt or a pale t-shirt and get them to draw. That would be a really nice project for end of year, you know, for friends or for teachers. You know, there's so many things that you can do. Okay, let me show you. So it's quite baggy. I really like it. It's large. You can put tons of things inside. So that's like an L size t-shirts. That would definitely have ended up in the recycling textile bank because it looked like nothing cool, but it's really nice. I'm really pleased with it. Okay, so please let me know if you are there, or if not, what I can help you with to finalize your project. Let me know if you have any questions, because this is the time now to ask them. I'm definitely looking at them on the thread, so all the questions can be, yeah, well done. And actually, you could send me pictures. I don't know how, I'm not so techy, but I don't know if you can send pictures, but definitely send pictures on our social media. So Sunny Jar Eco Hub, I'm gonna type it again for you. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and we try to give, you know, weekly tips on how to live low waste. So if you are on any of those platforms, even on Twitter, actually, you can follow us and get tips, but also give us tips and chat a conversation about what you guys doing to reduce waste and live sustainably at home. Thank you very much, Kelly. Yeah, it's really important. That's what I miss the most. I mean, like being home and talking to you without hearing you, it's so frustrating for me. I love you giving me ideas and sharing about what you do. So yes, so let's use the Instagram and Facebook for that, because that's all we've got for the moment. And I'd love to see a picture of your bags and also hear about what you're doing at home to live more sustainably. Okay, so I've got a question from Ray. So can I cut this fringe in smaller strips to prevent the hole? Yeah, I suppose as long as the strip is large enough so it doesn't fray. So what I find, like even on my first fringe, I kind of cut it a bit too narrow. I mean, it's okay, but it's probably like the minimum. You don't want it to be smaller than 0.5 centimeter, I suppose, because otherwise it would be easily able to snap. But yes, you could do that if you're precise enough, which I'm sure you are. Yeah, just make sure that you see that this is like a little bit too thin, and if I was pulling it, it will definitely snap. So that's what you don't want to happen. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so let me just write our name, Sunny Jar Eco Hub. So I've just sent it in the chat. I would like also to share the website I used for the facts about textile waste. So it's called Wrap UK, and it's a charity that that helps with waste management, waste awareness. It's mostly for consoles, but it's great. There's great information on there, and that's where I've got all my numbers and all my facts. So here it is. What is it I wanted to share with you? Our next workshop with the Westminster BIDs is about green cleaning. So it's the second workshop. So the first couple of weeks ago, we did green cleaning with bicarb and vinegar. The next workshop we're doing is about Castile soap and how to use soap to clean. So I'm going to show you how to make your laundry liquid, a washing up liquid, and a floor cleaner using Castile soap and other easy to source ingredients. So have a look at the Eventbrite link that I'm going to share with you now. You can register and it's free again. And this one is in the evening after work. Let me share this with you. What I wanted to ask as well, do you all have the tutorials for making this bag? Because I can send this again. Gina is saying, I'm cleaning kitchen and bathroom with vinegar and bicarbonate as you suggesting last session. Thank you very much. My sink are now shiny. Isn't it great? I hope that, I saw the video of this workshop and it was very long, and I hope it wasn't too tiring for you. But I'm so glad that you got something out of it. It's really great. I love cleaning with bicarb and vinegar. It's really cool. Brilliant. Thank you for letting me know. So I just sent the next workshop Eventbrite link on the chat. And what is it I wanted to tell you? We've released a guide on low waste living with our partners, Northbound BID, and it's now on our Instagram and Facebook. There's a link to get it. So all we ask is a very small donation that can be only £1 or a couple of pounds, just to help support our business through this unstable time. And then we'll send you the booklets. It's a lovely booklet. So if you want to get it, please do. Please do follow us on social media. If you don't have social media, just email us. I'm going to put my mail in the chat. So thank you very much indeed. And I hope you, if you have any more questions, just let me know now, but you can also send me mails and ask me questions on social media. Yes, Rachel, you can view the session on YouTube. I'm going to try to send you a link. If I can't do it now, one of us will send you a link after on your email, if you're providing us an email. That's great. Yeah, this big lengthy video, I hope you won't get too bored. But yeah, everything is there. Let me send you my email. So if you need anything, just email me directly. It's maud@sunnyjarecohub.com. Here you go. So if it's it, I'm going to say bye to you. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very, very much for being here with me today. I hope you love your bag and that you're going to carry on reducing waste together, and you know, and stay safe and look after yourself very much.